We're going to first open the meeting, and then from there, we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance. We'll have roll call, and then we're going to have a song sung tonight, and then we're going to have a moment of silence for our chair, Jim Kelly, who unfortunately departed this world much earlier than he should have, but he served as chair for many years. In fact, he served on the planning board for almost 20 years. So we'll have a moment of silence for him. So I'm going to open the meeting in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Law. I wish to state that on January the 2nd, 2020, the notice of this reorganization meeting of the Upper Township Committee was posted on the official Township Bulletin Board, mailed to the Cape May County Gazette, the Atlantic City Press, the Ocean City Sentinel-Ledger, the Herald Times, and filed with the Township Clerk. Tonight's meeting is being video recorded and will be available on UTTV Channel 97 and on the Upper Township website. I hereby direct that this announcement be made a part of the minutes of this meeting. I know we have the color guards that are coming in, and we like them, like the Girl Scout Troop 44475 and Boy Scout Troop 79. We'll bring the colors in, and they'll lead us through the Pledge of Allegiance. So I would ask everybody to rise, please. Okay. There we go. All right, so I think that this one has to be on the right hand side, right?
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to ask you guys, girls and men and young ladies, to lead us through the Pledge of Allegiance. So who wants to be the first to start us off here? Come on, Donald, while you are. No, look at this.
There we go.
There we go. All right.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. So let's remain standing. Would you call a roll, please?
Mr. Barr?
Here.
Mr. Coggins?
Here.
Mr. Corson?
Present.
Mr. Young?
Here.
Mayor Palumbo?
Here. And I'm going to call up Mia Pancoast, who will lead us through a patriotic song.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose bloodstreams and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there.
ask that we stand in a moment of silence for Jim Kelly again. He was the chair of the planning board, and not only, and I'll go into some detail when we get to the appointments on the planning board, but Jim did so much, not only for Upper Township as a municipality, but also for a lot of the residents. For those that don't know, he led the food and toy drive at Christmas time for the Knights of Columbus for many, many years. And he was a good friend, and he'll be sadly missed. Thank you. And I'm going to call up Monsignor Pete to do the invocation while we're standing.
Remaining in a sense of prayerful presence. Loving God, we place ourselves before you this night, confessing again and anew that you are the source and you are the origin of everything that is good. Grant us the wisdom to discern what is right and true. Grant us the humility to see the positions that are ours in service of our sisters and brothers. We pray in a special way that as you are the source of all that is good, your inspiration tonight will lead us this day and always, and your divine protection that we always seek to live in accordance with your will. And this prayer we make in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Now you can all sit down. Thank you. You guys can go back. Thank you again. Another round of applause for our So, Joanne, can you read the statement of determination of election, please?
Sure. A statement of the determination of the Board of County Canvassers relative to an election held in the Township of Upper, in the County of Cape May, and the State of New Jersey, for the election of certain officers for said municipality on the 5th day of November in the year of our Lord 2019. The said board did determine that at said election, John Coggins and Hobart Hobie Young were duly elected to the office of Township Committee for 3 full terms. Witnessed and certified on the 14th day of November 2019 by Rita Marie Fulgenetti, Cape May County Clerk, and Arthur Stig Blomqvist, Chairman of the Board of County Canvassers.
Okay, so Committeeman Coggins, would you like to go first to be sworn in, please?
Certainly.
And I know our judge, the Honorable James Birchmeyer, is going to say the oath for you.
What am I going to be missing next?
I, please state your full name.
John D. Coggins, Jr.
Do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United
of
States
the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New
of
Jersey,
the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear
that I will bear
faith
true faith
and allegiance to the same,
and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments
and to the government
established in the United States
established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority
under the authority
of the people,
of the people,
and that I will
and that I will
faithfully,
faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of the office
of the office
of Township Committee,
of Township Committee,
according to the best
according to the best
of my ability,
of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
So now, Hobie, it's your turn, and I know you have Senator Mike Testa that will do the swearing in for you. Eileen, would you come up and join Hobie? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you. How are you?
I state your name,
I, Hobart Young,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same
and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments
and to the government
established in the United States
established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of the office of Township Committee
of the office of Township Committee,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor,
Congratulations.
council members, pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
So before we go through the nominations and resolutions, I do want to acknowledge some of our guests this evening. We're very fortunate to have, again, Senator Mike Testa to be here in attendance. We also have Assemblyman-elect Antoine McClellan, who's back here. We have our Surrogate Dean, Mark Alongo. Freeholder Will Morey's here. Freeholder Marie Hayes. Judge Jim Birchmeyer was up earlier. We have a representative from Congressman Van Drew, Chris Chen, who's here from the Congressman's office. George, we have to acknowledge you. George Betts is our chair of the MUA for the county. Upper Township. Our prosecutor's here, Pat Martin. Is there anyone I forgot? It may be the first time I've ever gotten through with that. But anyway, again, thank you all for coming. We want to thank our family and friends that are here this evening. And now we'll go through the agenda, and then after we're done with that, we'll probably have just a little bit of some comments from the committee. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Joanne, for the nominations of mayor, please.
Okay, we need nominations for mayor.
I wish to nominate Mayor Palumbo.
Second.
Is there any other nominations?
Move to be closed.
All right. Would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Toby Johnson.
I believe our
Next
deputy...
Mr. Mayor, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to throw a little wrench into your program. We're waiting for Hobie to come back. But in the meantime, in today's day and age, we always ask ourselves what it takes to be a public servant, especially an elected official. Constantly under scrutiny by the public. It takes a person that has character, is a leader, is a mentor, is a father, has vision for the township. And believe it or not, we have a person sitting right next to me who is our mayor, Mayor Palumbo. He has just finished his 20th year
20th year as mayor.
as mayor of Upper Township.
This thing is a big flower.
And at this time, Mayor, on behalf of Township Committee, all of the township employees, and the citizens of Upper Township, we congratulate you on your 20 years of service.
understand why so many friends and family are here. I'm like, you guys are really dedicated. What's going on?
Mr. Chin has a presentation for you also.
Let's, thank you. Appreciate it.
Mr. Chin, I'm the district director for the Office of Congressman Andrew. Unfortunately, he had to go back to Washington last night, so he couldn't be here tonight. But he wanted to make sure that our office was here to recognize Mayor Colombo for reaching his 20 years of dedicated service to the Township of Butler. So he did send me with 2 gifts to present tonight. The first one, as Congressman Van Drew will tell you, on C-SPAN, 2 or 3 times a week, he's able to do speeches on the House of the floor of the House of Representatives. What his plan and what his goal always was to put South Jersey on the map and let people know where we are. So every week he speaks about stuff that's going on in South Jersey, so the nation can see and know where we are and what we represent. So in the future, Congressman Van Drew will be doing a 1-minute speech on the House floor on Mayor Colombo, your dedication, your years of service to the Township of Upper, and on Upper Township itself, and the good things that you're doing here as a community. All right.
That's great.
The second thing he is coming here with is the United States Representative's Proclamation. This proclamation is issued by the House of Representatives. It represents the over 300 million residents of our country. It has the gold seal of the United States, and this is in recognition of your 20 years of service. So on behalf of Congressman Van Drew, congratulations.
It's like Christmas all over again.
Is he?
Yeah, no. Well, thank you all very much. I appreciate the recognition, but it's really not needed. I have enjoyed serving the township for many years. I believe this is my 23rd year starting anyway, and 21st as mayor. So I hope to be around for a while. I love living here. I have plenty of friends and family members that live here. So thank you all for your support in the past. And I look forward to serving another year for Upper Township. So, with that, let's make a resolution and make a nomination for our deputy mayor. And I'd like to make a motion to, for Deputy Mayor Barr, that he continue serving as our deputy mayor.
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Okay, number 2, we have the assignment of township committee members to oversee departments.
Move the resolution. Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion carried. Number 3, we have the appointment of the municipal auditor, solicitor, prosecutor, and public defender.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes. You know what? I apologize. Can I go back? I just want to make sure the public knows that Committeeman Coggins will serve as Revenue and Finance, that Deputy Mayor Barr will be in charge of the Department of Public Works, that Committeeman Hobie Young will be Sports and Recreation, Public Buildings and Grounds, and the Department of Public Works, that Committeeman Curtis Corson will have the Municipal Courts, Public Safety, Animal Control, and Division of EMS, and I'll be responsible for personnel, emergency management, lifeguards, housing, engineering, clerk's office, zoning and planning, and construction code. So thank you. I just wanted to make sure that everyone gets acknowledged what our responsibilities are for this year.
Okay. Number 4, appointment of official to certify municipal improvement searches.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
5, designation of banking institutions as official depositories.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion carried. 7, payment of real estate taxes and penalties for late payments.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
I'm going to go back. 6, designation of official newspapers.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion carried. 8, schedule of township committee meetings for 2020.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion carried. 9, providing for biweekly payroll.
Motion approved.
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion carried. 10, appointments to the Upper Township Zoning Board of Adjustment.
Move the resolution?
Second.
I would also like to acknowledge the chair of the zoning board, Paul Casaccio, who has served on the zoning board for, longer than I've been on the township committee, because I served 4 years on it before that. So, what are you, almost 30 years, Paul? Yeah. And that's dedicated service, unbelievable, so. Would you call the roll?
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion carried. 11, appointment of Class 3 member to the Upper Township Planning Board.
Move the resolution? Second.
And that Class 3 member will be you, Hobie, but we'll also make that announcement when we make the resolution. So let's call the roll.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion carried. 12, appointment of various officers and employees to annual and specified terms.
Move the resolution?
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion carried. 13, meeting procedures.
Move the resolution?
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion carried. 14, imposing a fee of $25 on all checks given to the Township of Upper, which are dishonored for any reason.
Motion approved.
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion carried. 15, authorizing the Chief Financial Officer to maintain a petty cash fund.
Motion to authorize.
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion carried. Authorizing the tax assessor to file a petition of appeal or appeals for the tax year 2020 with the Cape May County Board of Taxation and/or the Tax Court of New Jersey to seek corrections of errors and proper values.
Motion to authorize.
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion carried. 17, adopting the cash management plan for the Township of Upper.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion carried. 18 is the 2020 temporary budget.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
19, appointment of Thomas H. Heiss IV as risk management consultant.
Move the resolution? Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes. And
Motion carried.
Tom's in the audience this evening. He serves the township well, so thank you, Tom, for all your dedication.
Number 20, confirming appointments to various positions required by the Atlantic County Municipal Joint Insurance Fund.
Move the resolution?
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion carried. 21, appointments to the Upper Township Sports and Recreation Advisory Board.
Move the resolution? Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Number 22, adoption of the National Incident Management System.
Move the resolution?
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion carried. 23, appointing members to the Upper Township Municipal Court Security Committee.
Move the resolution?
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion carried. And number 24, naming the overall winner of the 2019 safety program.
Move the resolution?
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion carried. And the executive order of the mayor, planning board appointments.
Pursuant to the authority vested in me as mayor of the Township of Upper, I hereby make the following appointments to the Upper Township Planning Board pursuant to the provisions of the Municipal Land Use Act of the State of New Jersey. Class 2, Craig Reeves is hereby appointed to a one-year term commencing January the 1st, 2020. and expiring on December 31st, 2020. Alternate members will be Robert J. Young Sr. is hereby appointed to a two-year term as alternate number 1, commencing on January 1st, 2020, and expiring on December 31st, 2021. John J. Griffith Jr. is hereby appointed to a two-year term as alternate number 2, commencing on January 1st, 2020, and expiring on December 31st, 2021. The foregone appointees shall serve with the other members of the Upper Township Planning Board, who are as follows. Class 1, Mayor Richard Palumbo. Class 3, Hobie Young, member of the governing body appointed by the governing body. The following appointees shall continue to serve in their existing terms as follows. Class 4, Michael Endicott, appointed to a 4-year term commencing January 1st, 2019 and expiring on December 31st, 2022. Gary Riordan, appointed to a 4-year term commencing January 1st, 2019 and expiring on December 31st, 2022. Georgette Costello, appointed to a 4-year term commencing January 1st, 2018 and expiring on December 31st, 2021. Theodore Kingston, appointed to a 4-year term commencing on January 1st, 2017 and expiring on December 31st, 2020. And Joseph Harney, appointed to a 4-year term commencing January 1st, 2017 and expiring on December 31st, 2020. Earlier, we had the moment of silence for Jim Kelly. Jim Kelly was due to be reappointed to this committee. In his honor, we will not fill that position at this time, and we'll consider that at a later date. But as I said earlier, he was a member of the planning board since 2001. He served as chair for the past 6 years, so he will be sadly missed. But again, I acknowledge all the work that he did for the township. A lot of the new construction that you're seeing that helps us with our commercial ratables, Jim led the charge to make sure that our master plan was in place to be able to do that. I know he worked closely with Paul on many occasions to try and do some of the things that needed to be done for master plan revisions, and a lot of the new ordinance that are in place are being considered that are yet to have been passed through ordinance. Jim worked diligently on, so again, he will be sadly missed. So at this time, I'm going to just kind of go around real quick. And Scott, do you have anything for us this evening?
Nothing this evening, just to wish everybody a happy new year, happy and healthy one.
Hey, Joanne. Joanne, I have to acknowledge, Joanne is filling in. Barbara Young, our clerk, husband unfortunately is under the weather and he's been discharged from the hospital, but she's obviously needed to be there to take care of him. And so Joanne has dutifully filled in today as deputy clerk and has done a tremendous job.
It's my pleasure. This is the fruits of Barbara's hard work all year, so we miss
You
her.
never want to take any credit for anything. You work very hard.
Just keep Barbara in your prayers and her husband as well.
Thank you. Daniel.
Nothing at this time except congratulations on year 21 and congratulations to John and Hobie. Have a great year.
All right, Paul.
Just thank the committee. Looking forward to an exciting year. I know we've got a lot of initiatives planned for the year, and just looking forward to assisting the committee and moving them forward.
Barbara.
Congratulations, John and Hobie, and working with everyone in the community.
Thank you.
All right, we'll come back to you two. Committeeman Corson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just congratulate John and Hobie for being sworn in again, and wish everyone a safe and happy New Year. And I'll concede the rest of my time.
Deputy Mayor Barr.
Well, happy New Year to everyone. May it be a safe New Year. And as always, Hobie and John, looking forward to working again with you. We do have a great team. We don't always get along, but you know what? We work out our differences for the best of the public out there to make sure that we provide the highest level of services that we can. And again, gentlemen,
Thanks.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Committeeman Young.
Again, I'd like to thank all the committee for their support over the last 6 years. And I'd like to thank Antoine, our new assemblyman, somebody that I've known since he was a little kid. Going to do a fantastic job for us along with Eric. Chris, again, if you could tell Jeff we said thank you, and I know he couldn't be here, but I think he would love to be here, not down in that maze he's in right now. You know, it's hard to believe that this is John and I's third term. You know, I had no intentions of ever running more than 2 terms, but we still have a lot of things we're trying to get done. And then this year with all the other elections, with the state level, the county level, freeholders everywhere, the fact that we turned everything red made this year very exciting. And I think it's going to be a great year this year to see a lot of turnarounds and a lot of progress in South Jersey. I think short of Rich, somebody asked me the other day how many years I've been involved. And I had to stop and think for a minute. And I started when I was 17 coaching baseball. And probably the fastest 50 years, Rich, that I've ever seen. I can't fathom that I've worked and had a chance to benefit, or hopefully benefit and mentor all the kids over the years, make improvements in our township, as well as trying to keep it as easy and suburban, you know, the way that we want it with the farmland and the good mix. It's been a pleasure over the years between the coaching, being the zoning official here for 9 years, sitting on the zoning board as well as the planning board, recreation boards, and getting elected was probably one of the best things I ever did. I love my township. I've been here 67 years now, and born and raised, and my family's all here. So this place is a special place in New Jersey and in the whole United States. It's unique, it's loving, and as I said Saturday, I got invited to Evan Holmes' Eagle Scout and got a chance to speak there too. And I said it's so great to see all of our recreation, our churches, our coaches, and our volunteers. And it takes a village to raise our kids. And we have more than a village here. We have a massive family that looks after each other. And it's been that way since I can remember. And I hope that we can see it that way. We've made great strides in recreation over the last 6 years. We've redone part of Caldwell Park, removed ball fields, Amanda's Field. We're almost finished with the baseball fields there, getting ready to break ground and build 2 more T-ball fields out there, as well as all of our special events. It's been a huge undertaking, and I think, you know, with some of the changes we're making this year coming up, it's going to streamline our process, and I think we'll be utilizing our facilities just a little bit better than we were as far as the community center and all. Something that I've been trying for, you all know, for the last 5 years at least. But again, I want to acknowledge too, my better half, Aline, is right there. And then the love of my life is sitting next to her, and that's my daughter, Britt. So thank you for being here, supporting me. Everybody, when do we make the announcement afterwards?
We'll do it.
Okay. Again, Happy New Year. Have a great, healthy 2020. And this will probably be my last go-around, so let's have some fun this time.
We haven't had fun up to this point?
Sure.
Come on.
But it's getting better every year. We have a great committee up here. We really do. And it's not just a committee, it's more family up here, and we talk and we rationalize and we argue and we'll buy each other a drink somewhere. So, you know, we never carry the grudges. And, you know, I've said before, the mentor for me has been Rich. I was fortunate to coach your kids.
Yeah, one's over there.
Zach's there, and, you know.
My oldest son, who will be 40, so that's showing your age.
Man.
You know?
Yeah, but I got a great grandson. You don't.
I don't know.
I got a great grandson that's 2.5. So, but, you know, let's get this all together again this year, and with all of our new people coming in, let's make this year a great year in face of all the adversity we're having down in Washington. John, it was a pleasure.
Thank you. First off, I'd like to express my sincere gratitude to the voters, the taxpayers of Upper Township, for placing your trust in us one more time to allow us to represent your interests here on Township Committee. It's truly an honor to be able to do that, and we certainly are humbled by the fact that the voters of this township are willing to allow us to represent them one more time. As we are coming up on budget season, we've started to get into that, and I certainly hope once more not to disappoint. So as far as the department heads go, brace yourselves. We'll try to make it easy. To my fellow committee members, thank you very much for your support. To all of the people who supported us through our campaign and gave us advice, gave us support, propped us up both financially and spiritually, I certainly want to say thank you for that. With that, Mr. Mayor, congratulations once more on your 20 years of service, and Happy New Year.
Thank you. And I'll be brief. You know, we have been very successful. As I said, I believe I'm starting my 23rd year on the Township Committee, and the one thing that I've always have felt good about is that the Township Committee works together. You know, we don't always agree, but we agree to disagree, and we usually come to consensus to a common goal, and that is to see projects through, to continue to support the township with services and the things that the residents deserve. This is, as many of my colleagues have said, this is a very unique town. I get to travel a lot with my position, my job, as I call it, my real job compared to serving as mayor, but you know, it's always nice to come home. You go over that Great Egg Harbor Bridge and you know you're home. So we're very fortunate. I've had great colleagues over the years that work closely, and we'll continue to serve you and do the best that we can do. We do have some great projects that are coming up, one of which we partnered with Cape May County Freeholders. Beasley's Point Beach will have quite a unique project. We have a $1.3 million and some dollar grant from the county. We will see some major changes there before the summer starts. We've just completed another beach replenishment. We've had a lot of road repairs, and we've conquered a lot of projects led by Hobie for Manus Field. You know, there are a lot of things that still need to be done, but we're able to do it because there are a lot of folks out there that continue to support us and continue to volunteer and do things that help us in the things that we need to do so that we can provide the services and provide I think, the great community that we have. So, and this year was also a very interesting year in that we've had a lot of new appointments. We've had a lot of folks that, through attrition, have retired. We have a new Public Works Superintendent, Craig, who's here. We have a new personnel officer, Sharon's here. We have a new EMS chief. I think Michelle's back here, and Melissa's here as our new deputy chief. So, and it is a family, and we have done it through the matriculation. We've had a lot of folks that have worked from the lower ranks and are now in supervisory positions, and we've brought some folks in to try and help to make some changes and hopefully good changes. So we'll continue to do that. I know everyone's going to work very hard. We have a lot of events still coming. I know Hobie probably next week will be talking about the Easter egg hunt and everything that's coming up. And he needs volunteers.
Absolutely. 30,000 eggs is a lot of eggs. So.
And finally, I do want to acknowledge my family members here. My wife couldn't be with us this evening, but she's doing well. She's had a long recovery from a very serious injury that she's had, so she's doing very well. But my oldest son, Zach, is here. My daughter-in-law, Lori. 3 of the 5 grandchildren that I have, Lucia and Rocco and Lydia. And I have some really good friends. My brother Mike's here. I have the Gills that are here. They're good friends, and the Nevilles. And so that's the other thing. Whenever there are people that come before us, and we acknowledge a lot of of our sport competitions, those that win awards and stuff, their family members are always here with them. So let's continue that, and I wish all of you a Happy New Year. And yes, see that, Mark? I hope he's got your back.
I'm still working, so.
Cape Regional has really come forward and have really supported a lot of our festivals and projects. And Mark has been a big asset to helping us get that support from Cape Regional. So thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Mark.
For all that you do for us. And thank Cape Regional as well. So with that, I know that Hobie and John would like to make I know I have to get the benediction up here. I got to keep on track here. But I do know you guys want to acknowledge to invite some friends.
We'd like to invite everybody back to Lavari's immediately following this. We're going to have a pretty nice buffet spread set up, as well as open bar that John and I are footing the bill for to make sure everybody enjoys herself. And since it's against the law to have an open bar anyway. But it'd be refreshments, and I saw the menu that Dave's putting out for us, and it was pretty nice. So, everybody's welcome to come back for some good food and refreshments and fellowship, and we'll kick this year off the right way.
And to follow up on that, thank you to everyone who took the time out of your busy schedules to come here this evening and spend your time with us. It's very well appreciated.
So I would ask all to rise, and we're going to call Monsignor Pete up here one more time to do the benediction.
Again, tonight we recognize that perhaps the word most clearly is the word of service. We ask God's blessings upon we who are His servants this night. We pray in a special way. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord be gracious to you. The Lord hold you in His hand. We make this prayer in God's name. Amen.
Amen. So now, the tradition will continue. The three grandkids can come up and hit the gavel that...
Rocco.
Oh, you're Rocco. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Biceps on bigger arms than your
Some boys will get that thing too.
Oh, hey, Liv's coming up too.
It's great, we got Rich's grandkids all in the recreation programs now, so I'm working that. Here you go. Turn, sweetie.
Liv, you got pretty dressed up tonight.
She looks beautiful.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. The meeting is adjourned. Please drive safely. If you're able to join us, that'd be great. But thank you for coming out this evening.
I feel the heat coming off my face as I was turning red.
Yeah.